All right, welcome everyone. I am Jared Napolitano, the marketing advocate for the Star Wars CCG Players Committee, and this stream is going to be the announcement stream of all the structure and details for the 2024 PC donations program. I imagine most people are going to be watching this on a replay. I'm going live here at kind of a non-routine time to share all the details, but just trying to fit it into the schedule and get this out as soon as everything has really solidified. So if you're watching this on a replay or whether you're watching it live, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully many of you are excited to hear about this program, which over the last couple of years has really taken off, as the XL deck boxes have really driven a lot of people contributing to the PC, and the PC obviously using those funds to do the various initiatives throughout the organization, like prize support, events, marketing, supporting overhead structure, and doing a lot of new and innovative things that I'm sure we'll touch upon at various points of this stream. But definitely wanted to get into the details. If you have donated in the past, a good chunk of this is going to be pretty familiar, and you're going to be familiar with some of the incentives, but we did mix it up. Thank you to everyone who participated in the survey that was sent out several months ago. We had about almost 140 people participate in the program last year, and appreciated everyone's feedback and kind of tweaking the different incentives that we have as a thank you for supporting all the things that we do. So without further ado, I'll hop in here. Let's see. Let's first do unhide. So this is the draft announcement. Right after this stream, I'm going to post this in the announcements channel or announcements forum. So forum.starwarsccg.org. A quick link to this exact forum thread, which for now will be like the temporary. It's just tinyurl.com/swccg PC donations. It's going along the bottom of the screen on the scroll, put it that way. But what'll happen pretty soon is we'll update the webpage, which is just starwarsccg.org/donations, and that's quick and direct. But for now, like I said, we'll just use this forum post. But this is in a behind-the-scenes forum right now, but I'll post it right after. So I'll try to zoom in on this so people can see the details. But as many of you are familiar with, I did a quick stream a couple weeks ago with the Darksaber boxes. I would consider them like the flagship item for the program this year, and we'll get into what exactly you need to do that or to get that, and what it's like. So just walking through the post here. So obviously we are a charitable organization. I'm going to post the link to this stream right afterwards. And there's a few things that I really want to talk through. I think they're easier to talk through. I think I will get, or I don't think, I know I will get them in here in the FAQ section in short time. I just want to talk through some of them first and then maybe summarize them in the best way possible. So first off, please don't donate yet. Today's December 1st. Because a lot of these items are on a first come first served basis. I don't go crazy. I'm pretty sure anyone who donates even within, I can't make any guarantees, but really in the first couple weeks, you're probably going to get about everything that you want to get. There's a couple exceptions that are pretty short on supply, but I'll touch upon them. But please don't donate until December 15th. We'll say last year, I'll update this to say I think 10 a.m. Eastern was what we did to kind of be respectful of different time zones in Europe and the Pacific Coast, and then of course we have some folks across the world in different time zones as well. So December 15th, we'll say 10 a.m. Eastern. It's pretty straightforward. You just click on this link, which will take you to a PayPal thing, which I'll just do real quick to show everybody. And then there's a Google Forms document to fill out, and we'll talk through that real quick too. But make sure you fill out the form if you donate. The link for the PayPal just takes you right here. A lot of people ask, like, can I contribute like a little bit in a time and incremental? You just check this box, make this a monthly donation, and then you could do a certain amount. And then make sure you email me, like marketing@starwarsccg.org. Just let me know, like, hey, I just did 50 on December 15th. I'm planning to do a total of 200. So you're going to get 3 more payments, and I'll mark that down, and that'll be like your place in line, we'll say. So if there's a point where we run out of certain things, the date and time of your first subscription payment will be what flies. So honestly, I'm not sure exactly how you turn it off. I know people do it. There's a handful of people that have used this option over the prior years, and there is a way to turn it off. I'm just not exactly sure exactly how to do that. And then the other is the Google Forms here, which people should be familiar with from the last couple of years. And this is just a systematic way of people giving their input of, when they have selections or if there's certain opt-outs. And obviously all your contact info as well is on here. And we'll talk through that in a second, but I think it'll go well as I go through the incentives here. So just a reminder, none of this stuff is to be sold or resold. Let me rephrase that. Anything with a PC logo or any slips, which don't necessarily always have the logo, card slips, are not to be resold. The deck boxes, the poker chips, the any foil slips, any printouts, and any of these other items like keychains, cups. Do not sell any of that. If you're found to be selling any of that, you will never receive PC prizes again. The uncut sheets, those are kind of fall into, decipher cards like that. At some point you kind of do what you want. We hope you keep it. We hope you appreciate it. But if you want to give it to a friend or, ultimately it's something that's hard for us to police. But stuff that is has our logo on it, do not sell that. Do not resell it. That's not cool. Put it that way. So again, some of the feedback we got on the deck boxes, hopefully you all can see, it's probably pretty small, but again, I'll post this shortly after the stream. Yeah, I guess the graphic's really tough. But more or less, if you donate $100, you get a choice of a box. We have Series 1 and Series 2 deck boxes. I had last year's program up here, so you're mostly familiar with the boxes. These are the Series 2 ones. All of these we are going to have more of. Let me put it that way. I did like a little bit of an unscientific poll to try to get an idea on how many boxes do people want, because it can't just be like, hey, the boba box is sold out really fast. People are going to keep wanting boba boxes. Let me order more of them, because and this is a pretty strong degree. Once you have one, you probably don't want that same one. So it's a matter of kind of anticipating. So I asked in Slack, over 400 people, like, which of these boxes that you don't have would you like to get? And based on that, and based on the stock and supply that I have currently, because I do have some left over, I went from there. So that's why, I think I ordered another 180, and just kind of estimating here. I mean, I'm pretty confident we're going to have enough based on the order that I did and based on the stock that we have. But if we do run out, and if it's trending, I'm going to be monitoring this throughout the program window, which will go through March 31st. To possibly order more. I just can't guarantee that. But I ordered another 30 Thrawn, BB, I think, and definitely Boba, definitely Hera. Grievous and Sidious, I have a little left over. Sidious is probably one of the ones, if you really want that and don't have it yet, you're going to want to donate very quickly on the 15th. And then the Series 1 boxes, which, I don't have one here. I didn't order more. It didn't seem like there was much demand for the Radis, so those are completely out. The other ones, let me see here. I ordered more. I have a good chunk of Ahsoka left over. I ordered more Blizzard 8, more Kylos, which Matt Carulli, I'm sure, will be very excited about. And that's it. So I have a few Rey, a few Betrayer, Vader, and a few... I'm going to have more Kylos. That's really it. And then no Radis. So Ahsoka, Kylo, Blizzard 8, you're probably pretty... Those are going to be reasonable to get. Ahsoka, Kylo, Blizzard 8. Radis is out. Betrayer, there's a very few amount. And then what's the 6th one? Rey, I have a very few amount of those as well. So just to keep... The post is not up. I'm going to be posting it right after this. I just have the draft here. So that's the deal with the deck boxes. If you do 100, you get one box. If you do 200, you get one box and the Darksaber Anthology box. If you do 300, you get choice of two deck boxes, and the Anthology deck box. And then if you do 500, you get three, again, across Series 1 and Series 2, and obviously the Darksaber box as well. Poker chip's pretty standard. If you are in the first two tiers, you get the Scomplink, the gray Scomplink one, which have always been for donors. And if you do the top two tiers, you get the mobile, which it's a mobile icon on locations. Looks like the Death Star plans. That, very exclusive, very hard to get. It's really just for top donors and for like Outrider Cup participants, and I don't even know what else you've given it out for. Not many. Advocate Award winners get it. They're very hard to get. There's very few in circulation. The donation foil slip this year. So last year we did 2 horizontal AIs. This year we're doing 2 slips, but they are the same objective, and I can tease the image on that right now. It's going to be Hunt Down and Destroy the Jedi virtual. Here is the front. Well, let me bring it up to the top of a little anticlimactic there. Here we go. This is the front, Hunt Down, Destroy the Jedi V. Pretty cool image of Vader. I have my Vader hoodie on here. The coming on Rogue One, I believe, is what that's from. And then the back, which I'll move up as well so everyone can see it. Hunt down back. Let me hide this one. That's the back. So pretty cool. I guess it's more so like end of episode 3. So that, pretty cool. Foil slip, you get both sides of it. It's going to be on that cool chrome paper that Kevin's been using for the AIs for a long time now. So that is the slip. Everyone gets that at every tier. Let's see, go down the tier here. Early donors. So some of you will remember from 2 years ago, we did, hey, pick 9 full slip virtual cards of your choosing from a list, and we will print that on foil paper. It'll have no border or white border. It actually looks like a silver border is what happens. And you get them. So there won't be any half slips. A lot of combo cards that use Decipher images from Decipher cards we don't do. Anything that's available in VKit as of December 15th, which I have on good authority that the annual refresh of the alternate image PDF. So every year in December, we update that PDF to release AIs that have been on exclusivity window for a couple years. So everything usually has a 2-year window. So like Luke Skywalker, the Rebellion's Hope AI, the one he's in the Stormtrooper one, that's going to be one of them. And you can see from the post, there's going to be a link in the survey. That's not going to be updated for these quite yet, but it will be updated on the 15th. Another reminder to not donate before the 15th. Don't fill out the survey before December 15th. Or else one reason you're going to be dealing with an old list. So we're going to be layering on the new ones. Actually, I can find out real quick just for another couple examples. The other new ones that are coming off their exclusivity window, the Steadfast, Palpatine Emperor Return, these are AIs. So some of the Reflections 4 stuff, General Hux, so these are OCS from, I guess, 2021. The Hoth Ice Plains AI, Din Djarin AI, which was, again, the Reflections 4 stuff. R2-D2, that was used, I think, for the Jawa Cup. All the Jedi Ray, I really like that AI. That's a really good one. I think it's much better than the main image. Hologram, Maul, and Kira. And that's just, there's about 22 maybe. So those would be cool. And you can customize. So if you're an early donor, if you donate in the first month, you get those. And also if you do the employer match, you can get another one. Or you can get one if you're not an early donor, you just do the employer match, you get one. You can get 2 sheets if you do both. I need to tell our great social media lead, James Martin. He did a great job helping me out with them and organizing, because that's quite a process. Because and you could have 9 of the same card if you want. You can do a theme. Like, actually, I have a picture of mine. So the ones that I did as examples, I did a Heroes theme on 1 year. Here it is. And I did a Rogue One theme 1 year. So I have these framed. I never cut them up. You can cut them up if you want to. I like them framed. So on the right, you see like Profundity, Radis, Jin, the beach, Rogue One. A lot of great images. And then on the left, I have the Rebels theme. Hera, Sabine, Ahsoka. And they're all white border. So you can do whatever theme you want. You could do episode 3, you could do villains, you could do heroes, you could do whatever you want. So that's for early donors and for employer match. As usual, we'll do, and I'll look at last year's thing, the printouts. We'll do the 2 most recent sets. They come on nice quality paper. Any of these new AIs, like we said, are getting added to VKit. They'll be in these printouts. And then also, if you're familiar with the Remastered Initiative, that's in the announcements forum that Christian and the graphics team have been leading up to basically get everything on the same exact template, have it very consistent. And in the process of doing that, usually with every set, there's 1 or 2 updated images, we'll say. They're not technically AIs, but they're just better images. Sometimes they just tweak the background. And there's a couple sets still to go, but there have been several sets released over the course of 2023. We will pull them in here. I'm trying to think if there's any on here in this sample picture. Oh, you're not even seeing it. I apologize. Here we go. Yeah, here's the one from last year. These objectives were all updated images technically. So those are just some examples. So the 2 most recent sets, any errata, any new AIs, it'll probably be, I don't know, it might be 10 to 12 pages worth per donor. Every donor, that's 200 and up is what that one is. That's not for everything. The voucher is the $50 value. You could use it for an OCS yearly pass. You could use it for the Retro League, which is only $10 or was $10 last year. You can do it for whatever event you want. You can do it for a major. You could do it for a weekend pass at a major. Is there a tracking doc for AIs that are being made available? Yeah, they're going to be added. I mean, we can call out kind of, hey, these are the new ones. But But yeah, they're going to be in that list. When you go to the questionnaire, there's a link to all the possible options that you can pick for your 9. Let's see. Yeah, so free event voucher. A lot of the 200 tiers always it has been the most popular the last couple of years. I think it's a really good value because you get the free event, which right there, like I said, it's kind of like $50 that you're saving. You get the printouts. You get last year you got I think 2 boxes for it. Oh, swag items. So we're gonna get to them next. So first swag items. I saw someone mention, including myself. Hey, I don't have a. I could have really used one of the keychains. And I'll show a picture of these miscellaneous items in a moment. But yeah, these are so with these are items that have been given out for other events or other purposes. Sometimes even prior donations program. But I have leftover, and to respect the exclusivity of these items, I don't want to just give them away for whatever reason. So folding them into the program, I think does 2 things. It utilizes them, repurposes them. It also is a way to offer, like the green cups were used at Endor, for example. Well, if you didn't go to the Endor Grand Prix, you don't have them, but maybe you want them. And now this is an opportunity to get something like that. The winter hats, I think we've done the last 2 years. I still have a handful of those left. The golf balls, I have a handful of those. I have lots of keychains. I don't anticipate any of the Swag Choice 1 level to run out of, honestly. I think given the spread and given people's preferences, I have a feeling we're probably pretty okay there. But I do want to avoid ordering another round of these because I don't want to just keep getting this cycle of, oh, I need 10 more. All right, well, the minimum order is 50. All right, now I have another 40 that I got to figure out a way to get rid of. I would like to, once we move these out, okay, they're done. Maybe we'll talk and maybe I'll offer you a different incentive. But again, I have a feeling the way these are quantitied, that's going to not be an issue for Swag Choice 1. Swag Choice 2 is for 300 tier. And this, I think, is kind of the sneaky flagship item. So I mentioned the Darksaber box, but I have something that I think a lot of people might like even more. And based on the survey that I alluded to, a lot of people said they wanted playmats. But not everyone wants a playmat. So this is an option. You have the choice of a playmat, the 3-piece poker button set, which we've used the last couple of years. Again, I have leftovers of them. Maybe people picked a different item last year, and now they want that item. Okay, cool. Now you can get that one. So that's another reason that some people might be donating for the first time. They didn't have exposure to these items in prior years, and now they want them. And the defensive shield sleeves, which I think are now at least the 3rd year, maybe even the 4th. But they're really cool. But again, if you didn't donate last year, or if you picked the PC20 sleeves instead, and you want these, you can now get them. So you have a choice of the 3. Now the playmat, the playmat is something that we're going to wait to the very end, get an accurate count on, and make sure we have enough. That's not going to be like I have 30 and 40 people want them. Sorry to the last 10. That's going to be one where we wait to the very end, or at least very close to the end, and be like, hey, there's 34 people. Let me add a little buffer. I'll order 40. Maybe I end up with a couple extra. And we would use them for very exclusive purposes, if not roll them into a future program, a future donations program. So let me show you all that image, which I'm sure some people will complain about the orientation of the playmat, but hopefully a lot of people do like it. Big shout out to Tom Sarakan for helping with this, and Greg, of course, our rules advocate, and to Christian, and of course for the artist who graciously let us have it. So here's the playmat. Let me center it here. So we have our logo, we have our shield. It's a little friendlier to open than some of the other playmats that we have seen before. Let me hide the background I have here. This is for the new Hoth objective that just came out. Yeah, I'm covering my face up, but here it is. It should be 28 inches by 15-ish. It might be plus or minus a couple of those. But I think it looks really cool. The image looks fantastic. Hopefully this appeals to original trilogy purists, and also people who are not really biased towards any particular of the trilogies of the Star Wars saga and an expanded universe. So yeah, I think it came out really good, and I think it looks great. And that's going to be for 300 and up. All right, so let me hide that. Let me get our background back. Let's see. All right, so going on the list, we did in Swag Choice 3. So this was this is for the 500 and up. You got a choice between we'll call it like a trophy glass. And we've done these before for top tiers. It's basically like a thank you. It'll have your name on it. We call it Beskar for like the top, the most impenetrable, our top supporters, financially at least. So you can pick that if you want, or you can get a hat. A lot of people like the hats. We're probably going to do a little different than the trucker hat this time. It's going to be like more of a baseball cap fitted in the back. Not 100%. We haven't ordered those yet, but that'll be another one that we're going to make sure we get an accurate amount. That's not going to really be. I think the post says subject to availability for these, but for that hat, for the trophy, for the play mats, you don't have to worry about those. And for most other things, it's really just the swag choice one stuff, and then stuff like the shield sleeves, the poker button set, and then this final option choice for swag 3, the 6-pack insulated cooler bag, and then let me show the picture here, like I mentioned. That was coming out at Worlds and Euros, but again, if you didn't go to Worlds and Euros, you didn't get it, and it's a really cool thing. I just used it this past weekend when I went to the Eagles game. Let me, where did I put the items? Here they are. So I could talk through this. Okay, so yeah, so here's just a sampling. So the sleeves, in case you're not familiar, there's be 25 a side. Some of you may have seen that I think design is considering streamlining some of them. So 25 should definitely be enough. The Dark Saber box at the bottom, the winter hat, a lot of people have them. We used them for the NPC a couple years ago, and then we used them for the donations program before. But if you don't have them, now's your opportunity to get them. Poker buttons set in the middle there, and then just a couple of the deck boxes. Those are Series 2 ones, but of course there's, like I said, you could pick from potentially 8 or 11 different options for the deck boxes. The only one that we're not running back is Radis. Maybe next year we do like a Series 3, but for now, based on some of the feedback, based on some of the considerations in terms of storage and cost and the effort to actually get really, really good images and have them be very good for it, I just figured be patient. It seemed like there was a lot of people that still wanted some of the Series 1 and Series 2 ones, so that is the opportunity to get them. Do original trilogy purist, use shields. You know what's funny? I think one thing that might be pretty neat is might do some type of modified events with Classic Trilogy, but with shields. So I think those would be kind of cool because it's kind of like an untapped meta. I think so. Classic no V, I think would. I'm not sure if that fits in there, but there's definitely an option because I'm not sure if Classic means no shield. I think it just means no maintenance cards and no. But regardless, hopefully the playmat fits a lot of people's different. And one of the things one of the funny, and I shouldn't say funny, but interesting things that you have this one Echo Base Trooper jumping in, and that's where the lost pile is. And there's the cooler bag in the top right. You see the poker chips in there on the right, and there's two different types of keychains. Again, a lot of people might have them, but a lot of people might not. Like we gave out the lime green ones for Nationals last year, but a lot of these situations, like hey, you got to order a minimum of 100 or 200, and it's like, all right, we like the item. We think people will enjoy it and use it, but now we have all these leftovers, and how best do we redistribute these in a fair way that's respectful to the people that went to Nationals and respect some of that exclusivity, I'll say. All right, so going back here, let me hide this image, miscellaneous items, get back to our post here. All right, and then the top tier also will get Uncut Sheets as we've done the last couple of years. This is, I think, one of the FAQs, so I don't know exactly what sets they're going to be. Long story short, it's not very easy for us to determine exactly what sheets we have. We're going to make a solid effort to do that in the next, hopefully, month to figure out. And ideally, the way it's worked in a couple of years past is we have a pretty big stack. We go through, we say, oh, wow, here's 35 Jabba's Palace light side rares. Okay, well, let's take 30 of them and put them towards the donors. So we're not going to use up every single one that we have. Everyone gets the same one, so it's not like kind of picking and choosing. And we go from there. So if you were someone who's like, well, I'm on the three, I definitely do 300. I really want to know what uncut sheet I get if I do the 500 before I commit to it. Send me a note, marketing@starwarsccg.org. Just say, hey, I am going to contribute 300 now. I might go up to another 200 to 500, depending on what the sheets are. But I want to get my place in line. So I want to pick my deck boxes before they might run out in a couple different ones, or a couple of the items that are low on supply. That's totally fine and totally understandable. I want to figure it out. It's just something that requires a handful of people. They're very awkward to move and count. And there's also going to be a lot of people that I feel like some donors in years past are like, oh, I got an uncut sheet. Like they didn't even realize they were getting one. And some people might be completely indifferent. I definitely don't want to use ones that we've used in the past couple of years. Is another constraint here. I don't want to just, like we did, I think, Endor light side rare, Endor dark side rare. I think we did Jabba's Palace light side rare. I really don't think we're going to need to go to an uncommon one. I think based on top tier donors, based on quantities of that in the past, I think we'll be able to find one set. The plan B would be, okay, we have 15 of these and 15 of those, and we got 22 top tier donors. Okay, we'll do 11 and 11, make sure we're not using up everything. And we'll just kind of do like a haphazard split. And maybe even at that opportunity, I might say to all the top tier donors, hey, do you prefer one versus the other? And that's where, of course, this survey is important, that we get all your information so we can contact you for stuff like this should it come up. All right, so that's the Uncut Sheets. Let's see here. We're running up on 26 minutes. So we showed the picture here. So applicable to all donors, like I mentioned, the early donor incentive is the sheet, the employer match. I don't think we don't need to receive the match by like the end of the window, but we would definitely want to have some assurance that that's going to happen before we print the incentive for you. So we'll stay close on those items. And this is just written out, everything that's on the grid, a little more like a text format as opposed to just a screenshot from a spreadsheet. The policy on free event vouchers is linked here on how you redeem them. Looks like I got to fix that. Timeline we talked about, so today's December 1st. The program will go 3.5 months. I got some feedback on potentially shortening the window, so I think this is actually 15 days shorter. I think the key thing is just making us get the stuff out to you guys quicker. And like we're starting this one a month later than last year. There's just a couple different things to iron out. But I think, and one of the FAQs is, we say down here timing, preparation, when it'll happen, when it'll ship out. Last year, I was almost doing it on a rolling basis, depending on what you opted out of or what tier you were, what I had in stock at the time, or I was trying to get things moved, and I do want to do that again. So there's not really like an exact, there's a science from my end, but it's a little hard to describe. It's more like if you pick some things and I have all those things, I'm going to get that out to you as soon as possible to free up space in my house. So some people it's possible you get them as early as January. It's just a matter of when all the stuff rolls in. Like if you, for example, if you're 100 level, $100, so you get in the deck box and you pick one that I have already, the next shipment should arrive sometime in January. So it's very possible I have that for you. I definitely have all the poker chips. The alternate images I should be getting sometime in early, I think those are coming in December actually. So those should be soon. The slips I can possibly get. I need some help printing them, but those are definitely possible. And then all these swag choice ones, I have all these in stock. So that's an example. It's very possible that if you're a tier 1, you get stuff in January even. I have all the anthology deck boxes already. The printouts, I could start doing a wave of those probably once we get to January 1st, because then we shouldn't have any more errata anytime soon. We have the event coming up in middle of January. The updated images will draw a cutoff there. The new AIs will be there. And then the free event voucher is something I could just generate. So that's another situation where, depending on what boxes you choose and which I have in stock and what time the new batch comes in, I might send them out sooner. In some respects, like it's a little, unfortunately, if you're a top tier donor and you pick like the Beskar trophy, you might have to wait. At the same time, like if you're a top tier donor and you get an uncut sheet, that means I have to send you a tube with the uncut sheet. And unless I got some ginormous tube, it's very hard to combine the tube and a deck box. So I'm going to have to send you 2 shipments anyway. So what I probably will do is send you, 1 box of pretty much everything, almost everything that I have. And then I'll send you the tube with the uncut sheet and any other items that are smaller that I might not have had quite yet. So that's how that'll work. So you might get 2 waves sometimes. I think some people are maybe I wasn't as transparent as I should have been last year about how that works. But yeah, so some people won't get 2, especially the top level. Let's see. Expect to have all shipments. Deck boxes first come. Like I said, the Ray, the Betrayer, and the Sidious are the fewest I have. We can't just order. We have to order really at least like 30 of each quantity, and just given storage constraints and printing constraints and economies of scale, it just and demand and prior demand or anticipated demand and prior demand, didn't make sense to order more of those. So if you really want a Betrayer, a Sidious, or a Ray, set your alarm clock for 10 a.m. Eastern on December 15th, which is a Friday. All right, so let's see. FAQs, I'll run through these real quick. We talked about how to make the installment payments, what the donations go towards. Let me circle back on that in a moment because that might be the longest one. Yes, the donations support both the U.S. and European community. I've heard some things that all these donations are stuck in America, none of them go back out. That is absolutely not true. We do a lot of funding towards European stuff. For example, the cooler bags this year were provided to all European Championship participants even though there was no registration fee collected by the PC. Last year in 2022, all the deck boxes were provided to registrants for the European Championship, and the PC did not collect any registration fees for that. So those were costs that, again, that the PC outlaid, well worth it. It was definitely something we should have done. We were happy to do, but I just want to make sure that people are aware that stuff like that are examples, like the pins that we do. Pins are not cheap, and from my understanding and doing some surveying on those, people that go to the major events like the pins. There's a strong correlation with that. They are not super duper cheap, but at the same time, maybe if the European community doesn't like the pins, I don't want to have a lose-lose situation where we're going through the effort of generating things and shipping them and paying for them if they're not appreciated, not just by anybody. So that we always want to make sure that what we're doing is appreciated, and if not, let's save everyone the trouble. Like we'll tweak the event kits as an example, like the regional, the states, the league kits. Those are always, we want to keep modifying them to what people prefer and like, and make sure we're not putting things in there that people aren't appreciating. But yeah, I could name several examples of how. And this, when I circle back to number 2, I think I'll get into that, of just what all this stuff goes towards. Donate outside the window and still receive incentives. Yes, the last couple of years we've had people donate after the deadline. The only thing that really changes is then you're really in a strictly while supplies last zone. If you donate after March 31st, there's no guarantees. It hasn't been an issue. Pretty much everyone that has donated after that, I've had a few extras. As you can see, a lot of times I do have extra stuff. So if you're okay, if you find out about this, if you somehow find out about this stream in June of 2024, reach out. Marketing at StarWarsCCG.org is my email. Just say, hey, I'm thinking about contributing. I'm really interested in these things. It'd be a deal breaker if I couldn't get them. I'll let you know, like what we have in stock. I don't ever want to. We will never take your donation, then say womp womp. Actually, no. And then not offer you the opportunity to rescind your donation. That's something we always let people do. Like, I tried to caveat and be as transparent as possible about, hey, these certain things are subject to availability. So, get in soon. And then if we run out, either you're going to be like, okay, yeah, sure, I understand that was part of the deal, or you might be like, actually, that was like a deal breaker to me to contributing. I'd like to go back, and we will definitely reverse the transaction. We're not trying to play any gotcha games here. So that's the late donations. Uncut Sheets, I'm really hoping in the next month, Scott and I can go there. Maybe we'll get 1 or 2 other people to help out. I've had some volunteers. It's just a matter of finding time that works for everybody, getting there, and then just moving stuff around and figuring out all what we have, and figuring out what the good candidates are for this type of thing. So hopefully sooner than later, but as I said, if that's a deal breaker to anybody, let me know. Incentives, just 7 real quick. If I want to donate PayPal. We do accept checks. Again, just probably reach out, send an email to advocate@starwarsccg.org on the best way to handle that. And we'll go from there. But yeah, you don't need a PayPal. Some people hate PayPal. Some people don't want to sign up for a new account, but that doesn't preclude you from contributing to the program. We definitely had a handful of people provide checks, and a lot of times, like the employer match, I think they've come in checks before. Incentives subject to change or addition. So the one thing there, I really don't think we're going to have changes. If anything, I might add something, but I can't guarantee this. One thing I am looking into, I just didn't want to hold up everything before I got some more clarity on this, but I mentioned this on another stream when I did the teaser. Get some type of like straps for the Darksaber deck boxes so they are more easy to transport, so they stick together. Like there's a sleeve on the second anthology box that you're probably all familiar with. Some type of thing that has a logo on it and that isn't like abrasive on the surface. And that would be something I would just toss in to all the tier 200 and up. If you're getting a deck box, if you're getting a Darksaber box, you'll get one of them if it all kind of comes together. I can't guarantee it. I'm hoping to do it, but it's just a matter of finding a proper manufacturer and getting it printed and having it done timely and all that. But I think that is something that I think people would appreciate. And then, let's see, I think I did. All right, so let's circle back. So what do my donations go towards? So I went into a little bit of this in the post here, the teaser. We had one question about what will these go towards? And, this really summed it up. But, like, really, it goes towards everything. Like, it's really the primary inflow to the organization. Like, the PC store generates revenue. Events and event kits have registration fees and kit fees and league kits and regional events. And those are sources of income as well for the PC that we then turn back into prize support, helping subsidize volunteers who are doing different things, venue space, internet, shipping of the prizes, which now over the last couple of years we've had so many more online events, and there's lots of people that don't ever go to events, but they participate in person events. They participate online, and we have to ship them stuff, and we don't ever say like, hey, if you're in Europe, you can't participate in these. We won't ship these to you. Or if you're a European or you live in Australia, we're going to charge you to ship. We don't do that. I actually just shipped something to Australia today, and there are a lot of online events, and besides the OCS ones, like that, those have their own registration fee, but we're not tacking on anything extra. So all that stuff is covered. Lots of supplies. We don't really silo every little initiative and say, okay, here's a budget for this. It's just kind of stuff comes in the door. Revenues come in the door, and then we kind of assess, okay, what can we do with this event? What can we do with that event? How can we improve this? How can we obviously there's lots of overhead and maintenance that the PC has to pay for. One teaser I can say, we do have someone now working on different GEMP features that a lot of people have been asking for a while. Someone who's very, very smart with this stuff, and that is, people say, why can't we just throw money at the problem? Can't we just hire somebody to tackle these, these last cards that have to be coded, or these different features that are really wanted? That is something that's going on right now. So I just want to let people be aware of that, and more info on that to come. But those are the types of things that we just kind of trying to constantly improve the quality, the output of all the different things that the PC does. But trophies and pins and all types of swag. Obviously, and then the donations program itself, it's not 100% of the donations are instantly hey, the PC has this. To get all these things generated, printed, shipped internationally, we don't charge extra for international donors. We don't charge extra for international purchasers of event kits or league kits. Those are the types of things that, some of those things are actually we lose money on, quote unquote, but they're worth it because they're furthering the mission of the PC. All right, so I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to get into. Like I said, I have down here answers in the stream now, so I'll link to the stream here as well, and then I'll try to succinctly sum up what I just described. But like I said at the beginning of the stream, there's a lot of things I think are easier to talk through and explain rather than just bombard people with a wall of text. So I think that's everything. I tried to address any questions in the chat. I'll post this in the public forum. Don't fill out the form or donate until December 15th at 10 a.m. Please. We appreciate everyone's enthusiasm, but that's a way to just respect the order of, if in cases we do get to we've run out, like I said, there's a few deck boxes that we have very little of. We want to give people a couple weeks to digest this stream, digest the post, and go from there. Rather than, hey, if you're the first person, if you're home right now and you work from home, or you're homesick or something, and you have the opportunity to watch this live, you don't get an advantage over everyone else. We want to be fair in that sense. All right, so I think that's everything I have. I'm sure as soon as I click the end stream button, there's going to be 3 things that I'm oh, I wish I mentioned that. But I think that's all. Thanks to everyone who asked questions in the chat. Thanks to everyone for viewing this. And of course, thanks to everyone who has supported the PC in the past and are going to support it this year. There's really, this organization and the capabilities just keep getting better and better. And financial support is key and underlies a lot of that. And thank you to everyone for doing that. All right, everyone be well. May the force be with you.